Ah, what a nice and lovely field I've got here. So wonderful. Wait, what's this? Somebody's built something beneath it. No! Alright, folks, let's go ahead and get started. I'm Dearny Valley, and welcome to another episode of Star Technology, where we have a mega multi-block room built. I don't know when we're going to use it, but this is here now. And I've been slowly, obnoxiously, so many slimes, slowly been working on this little room here. And now this is going to be, I got tired of my big machine up there. It's just so hard to differentiate everything. So we've got a ton more space, and this is only going to be for things that can be crafted, big multi-block stuff that can be crafted in series. I don't care that I'm using the lathe on more. I don't care that I'm using the forge hammer, because if I do the big bulk thing over there, I've got to make like 1,000 anyways. So this one, there's only going to be a backup of like 100. So that's my thought process now. It's one of those pendulum swings back and forth between centralization on one end and point of use on the other end. Those are basic logistics supply chain concerns. But right now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build these little houses, and they're just going to have a bunch of machines in here, and then I close the door. I ran out of a brick. In fact, you know what? Here. We should... Oh, I got a better idea. Hold on. Back here, let's do this. Boom. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. And this granite wall is here because I thought that the slime chunk ended on this end, but maybe it was that end. Either way, it's still not quite half the area. See, so if I come up here, they spawn down on that end. So I think that it must like curve around like that. And I don't have a spawn chunk viewer. I mean, we used to be able to go to, is it F2? F3? Oh, what is, oh, F2 is screenshot, that's right. It used to tell you whether it was in a slime chunk. But I don't see, and I may just be, somewhere in here it's a slime chunk, and I don't see anything changing. So it may not be here anymore, or maybe it was a mod that used to show that. Either way. It's getting frustrating, but again, you know, I'm not going to rebuild the entire base somewhere else. Although I have considered it. I got a lot of consideration on that front. But no, I don't think that that's a good idea. So, and I keep remembering Shift K. Aha, I made all these bricks. In fact, let's see what we can do here. You know what? Is there a colored glowstone? Oh ho ho! What does red glass require? Oh, we're doing. What should we do? We should do different colors for every tier. What's the red tier? It's like a tan, right? So what if we do brown? Let's try that. Do brown dye. Then I guess I gotta get some glass, don't I? I'm trying so hard to do more decorative stuff. But it's so... I'm not gonna say frustrating. It's not frustrating. I love doing it, but, you know, it's either I'm thinking artistically, because there are different sides of your brain, right? So I'm thinking artistically, or I'm thinking, come on, it's right there. You go. It's that machine. Anyway, so we're gonna grab that, and then we can maybe. I'm not gonna replace the glowstone, but. We can start using something other than glowstone everywhere. It's funny because I'm still of the, you know, I still remember when glowstone was like, oh, I got glowstone. I'm like, aw, what is glowstone, red glass, red neon light. Oh, there is no brown neon light. Okay. I just wanted tan. That's all I wanted. I don't know what a good color would be then. Cyan. Only so here. What color neon lights are there? Yeah, there's only so many. Okay, well, why are these different? Oh, cyan and light blue both give you cyan. Okay. Orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, pink, purple, rainbow. Fancy. I have been playing for a while. I had a bunch of meetings today, and then shuttling kids around, chores, that sort of stuff. And so in between, I've been I didn't have enough time to record a video. Okay. I actually tempted to just turn it on to peaceful, and I know that that's a little cheaty, but since it's not daytime, and I don't want mob drops, and they're really annoying, but at the same token, I find it very funny. So let's go with red for now. Maybe color coding it by tier was a bit much. Okay. So and this makes me 8. Great, perfect. Brown stained glass can go in there. Sure. So as I build these little cubicles, and so we're back to the motor maker idea, which I know people are probably like, no, don't go back. But I'm hoping so. It's all about trying different things until you get to what makes the most sense. And right now, this is what makes the most sense to me. I don't ever have to touch these again. And right now, I can do it all with LV. So I don't even have to worry about the power. Yeah, it's not going to go very fast. But if I'm doing old stuff, it doesn't need to go fast. And then I've already got space allocated. Because that's what happened before, is that we made the motor maker, but then we needed MV motors. Well, and then we start trying to... Oh my goodness, it's so loud. I've turned mob sounds down as far as I can handle it. I can at least turn to my headsets down. We made the motor maker multi-maxi bonanza something or other, and that was fine. But it was a lot. So let's see if I do that. Oh, and then it lights up in here, and I don't even have to have those there. That will work. Because that's why the slabs are on the floor. And if slimes go in there, well, slimes are going everywhere. So we started off with... in fact, I can go grab it. We started off with this over here. And what I'm thinking is maybe we try... so I need rubber. And the problem is that if I put down like a giant... I don't want to have all of the ender tanks there, because that's going to be hugely problematic. So what I was thinking about doing is just having like a little admin area over here, and we've got a couple of the basic things like soldering alloy, the silicone rubber, polyethylene or PTFE or whatever it is, and that way we can just router it over here, and then we get to play with routers. But this one in particular is on hold. Until we get... I never filled these in. I meant to. Promise I did. But we can make it really small as long as we don't have to touch it. And then I have to figure out what we're going to do. And we can't make covers, right? Stone cover facade. I have to do it in... That's why we haven't done it yet. Is that really the only way? I mean, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? We should be able to use, if we mix anything with 3 iron plates in a mixer like that, we should be able to do it. I don't really want to set that up, but that may be a thing that we set up. I do like, how do I phrase it? I like that we've moved on from create to other mods, but I feel like there should be more and new and better. And this is not me saying they're bad for not doing this. This is just me saying it would be cool if, wish listing things. Anyhow, gosh, I have so many things that we were doing. Oh, I know. I did a ton of stuff, actually. I started watching Sneaky Pete. So if we come down here, I need to put a couple more of the... travel anchors down here, but I've moved a bunch of the these guys here. So these are all running off of MV, and I went and grabbed a bunch of almost all the MV that mattered. Like, not the ones that only make casings for multi-blocks. That may come later, but for now, this is all we need. I'm trying to decide whether or not we switch this around and have, like, the titanium go right into vacuum freezers, and then we'll have a row of vacuum freezers behind there. I kind of don't want to. Kind of want to just do that upstairs. Because this is kind of cool, right? Like, could you imagine running down this in real life? Like, there's just halls, it's like backroom stuff. And then up here, the only thing that I did off camera that I probably should have stayed and done on camera is I made a couple of gas collectors, and they feed into this mixer along with that nether agglomeratio we made last time, which is, I don't even remember where that is. I think it's all the way down there. Those, I might move those. I was thinking this would be better if, so again, it's organization, and it's trying to find how do I organize things so I can find it. I don't need a billion of these running, right? That would be kind of silly. Although I'm looking at this going, why are you not running? You got power, you got everything you need. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. It's probably backed up on the other end. So we're building up liquid nether air. I've got 2,000. And realistically, I could probably bump that up even more. It is a bit of a slow process, so we can go here, grab that. Oh, I totally forgot. I have killed so many slimes. I've gone through like 2 swords, largely from building down there, and I didn't light one up. And well, I did. I thought I did, but I left one dark spot, so I ended up having to kill a bunch of like 50 zombies all at once. It was crazy. It was fun. But, you know, I died a bunch, so I'm glad I didn't have a chance to record it. Anyhow, so this is relatively simple. I mean, making netherrack, we make tons of it at a shot, and then it dumps into the mixer right away, or the crusher right away, the macerator right away. So this is not difficult or expensive to make. It dumps into the mixer, mixes with air, and then comes out as liquid air. I don't see a use for nether air. We can centrifuge it, but it's sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide, and those are things we get from the distillation tower anyways. So it's 72 buckets. You have to do it 100 buckets at a time, which is crazy. But all of this is waste. There's nothing. We don't need the oxygen. We don't need that. We don't use it to make anything. I mean, we can make methanol, but then we got to mix it with hydrogen, and we could just burn that. It's just, it'll just get voided. That's all it's going to happen. We might save some, but, you know, for the most part, we get electrolyzed to get carbon and oxygen, but we've already got those for free. If this was not Skyblock, that would be a whole other story. I'd be saving every little scrap of all of this stuff. I hope. I think. It depends. It gets to be a lot. But, you know, it's the same thing here. We've got acetic acid. We haven't used it for anything. If we run low, maybe we'll remember that this is here, but for the most part, that's that. And then we can mix it to make ender air, vacuum freeze it, but that's it. There's nothing else. We can make buckets, but, you know, we can't do anything with the buckets. So again, there's no reason to stockpile this at all, and it just goes right in there. Except I also have it pumping out across here, because if we mix nether air with end agglomeratio, we get ender air. And I'm looking at, I guess I can come in here. Oh, hey, look, I can lock that. Nice. It doesn't matter, but, you know, makes me feel better. We don't need to buffer it. We don't need to store it or anything. We don't, same thing with ender air. I think there was actually one use for ender air, and we'll deal with that when the time comes. Anyway, what I was going to say is I went through all of these. I actually started using my tools to fight things off. So now we have Gregtech tools, which are all slightly more powerful. So that's a 9 attack damage to axe, and that's a... Oh, it doesn't tell us. That's 5 attack damage, but this is maybe more. But I think the mining speed is kicked up a little bit. When they get jump, and I turn around, I think it's one of the big ones. But the sword is nice, because the sword has actually got 25% more damage. It was 9, now it's 12. And all it takes is diamond plates instead of diamonds, which means you need to get to the cutting era, the cutter era, I think. Although you may be able to do it once you get the saw. In any event, the only issue is these take EV, and I was kind of irritated about that because we've only got an HV converter. They aren't running super a ton, so I'm not real worried about that. And we just, when we get EV energy hatches, we'll just replace all of this because this is actually surprise. I lied to you. This is IV, is what it needs. So it's currently just not operating. But I've got these here so that, honestly, I should probably break them out so that I can remember to use them later. But either way, neither here nor there. It's let's do this. I actually looked at doing this earlier and then didn't, but now I don't like that. So UV nether air. This one is, oh, it's not liquid nether air. Ender air. And at some point we have to build a distillation tower to distill that all into its component parts. And that'll be radon, and we need to do that because we need radon here coming up soon. Tritium is nuclear reactions. Krypton and xenon are both noble gases. So is radon. So is helium. Deuterium is a kind of hydrogen. It's a hydrogen ion. It's got, I think, 2 electrons on it instead of just 1. As opposed to, is it tritium? I think it's tritium. It's got 3. No, that one's got a T. Oh, it's got a D. So deuterium is just hydrogen with an extra electron, I think. Don't quote me. I could be wrong. Same thing with tritium. It's got an extra, a 3rd electron. And these ratios are not even close to correct. And then the nitrogen dioxide, we could maybe make some of this stuff better. Anyways, so point is that we've got all of that going really nicely. And we really just need to kind of start cranking the tungsten steel. So I'm slowly automating some tools, but I wanted to show you that I've been building, I've been automating some stuff. These guys are always running, even though they don't have any power, because they're just out of power. And it still shows the running animation because I haven't turned it off yet. So this is, oh, maybe that's why the one wasn't done. No, because it was appetite. Why is appetite not running? This is no, that's, oh, you're out. What was this one? Bastnasite, topaz. So it went through all of our topaz. Why is the crusher not crushing the topaz? I'll have to go check that. I'm not real worried about it. But that one's running, this one's running. I mean, we may just be out of topaz. It's, oh, you know what? Maybe it's out over here. Nope, those ones are running. These are always out, so I'm kind of thinking we might be able to do without this one here, but at the same token, I don't know. Trying to remember where everything is really getting to be a lot. It's really getting to be a lot. So let's go check on our, do I not? Oh, it's back here. Go check on our production of, I was gonna automate this at some point. Why are you not? Oh, because, yeah, you're empty. That makes sense. Oh, and you know what? I can just toss these. Okay, so let's go grab more sodium persulfate, which was being made. Where was that? Where are we making sodium persulfate? Oh, it's in the chemical reactor on the end. This one, right? Nope, that's the tetra. Oh, hey, look, you've got titanium tetrachloride. You're shooting it out. Maybe we're actually making titanium for once. This had stopped running because the chlorine was not full. I really got to come up with a better solution for this. Alright, give me a second. I gotta go find the sodium. No, the perchlorate. Right, it wasn't the last chemical reactor I put up on the one floor. I don't even know what to call it anymore. It was the first one I put down here. So you're full, actually. So is there a reason I'm not just dumping it over? It's 0 DA. Let's do that. There's no reason not to, and we can automate some of the rest of it. Because we obviously don't do anything with the tungsten as it is. 0 DA, right? Which is... Oh, I ran out of food midway through the jump. Oh, I also set up some rock crushers. I'm actually pretty pleased with that. So now, I don't know, at some point we were automating stone and then we stopped. But now we are again. So it was white, green, purple. Okay, I can do that. Green, and I should even have a purple left. No. Alright, well. I actually had a collision with the colors, and I've talked about the before. It's basically a giant hash map. Green was D, good. I know I literally just said it. Sodium sulfate. Ooh, somebody's using it. Okay, and then we're gonna go run this down here, actually. Yeah, I actually had a collision. I tried to do something and it was already at nitric acid. So if I do this, I have to put a pump on, which means you're gonna go right there and give you a pump, switch you to insert, and now you're not running. Tungstate and sodium perchlorate. You're not out of power. Tungstate with hydrochloric acid. Oh. Well, that would explain why it wasn't working right. Okay, give me a second and I will go fix that real quick. Aha! That's why, because I didn't have it yet. Let's do DOC, because those are the first letters in there. I always have to have a reason. It doesn't have to be a reasonable reason. I always have to have a reason why. Just for my own edification. Oh, we're doing it like this because of this reason. And it changes every time. Like sometimes it's because it's CO2, sometimes it's because it's the letters. Sometimes it's just because I have like 6 liquids to do, and so I just have them all in sequence. I do try to avoid palindromes, though, so that way it doesn't matter if it's backwards or forwards. Sorry, so that I can send one way and receive another way, and it doesn't have to be something I have to remember different ones for. So we decided DOC, which is green and light blue. I'm starting to remember these, which is it's like a useless skill. So apparently we're not shooting out hydrochloric acid. I thought we were, but D. Oh, we need 2 of them. O C. Oh, that's 3. Well, it's DO3 then. Oh, C is cyan, not light blue. Cyan was the correct answer. Over here, yes. And I'm going to go ahead and just... I don't remember if this is the right one or not. That's not what I wanted to do. But it's fine. Let's do that. Work. And... where are we going? We need to go... oh, right. Back over here. So now, if I put you there... aha, now you're running. Okay, and so then this tungstate... is there a reason I'm not just automatically dumping it in there? I think it's because I wasn't sure I wanted to run constantly, because this is not the automation area. But then we started to set up some automation, and now I'm thinking that that was silly not to have done that. So let's go ahead and snag tungstate. It's topaz. There's the tungstate. We have 3,000, which means actually 3,500. And the reason why the 3,500 was important is because it's a 7-to-1 ratio to get the tungsten out of it. And again, I'm not worried about the ratio. I just want to know how many I'm going to get. And that means we're going to get about 16 stacks. Right? 128, 256, 3 stacks. 64, 128, 256. 8 stacks. 8 stacks. I can count. I can math. I can multiply by 2. But yeah, I know again, you're like, oh, I totally pay attention to every moment that he's in his old blast furnace room. I do need to make more flex points. I need to make lots of things, but, you know, for now, we're doing fine. If I jump over here again, then I can pull you out, and instead put... Come on. Go over there. We go. You in. Switch to that, and... pull you out. Perfect. Alright, so now we're good. And put you there. Lithium chloride. What happens with the lithium chloride? I don't know. But I do know I've got some more tungsten dust, which we throw in the mixer. Right. In fact, that's the only, right? That's the only physical output. Except that's an assembler, and that's the mixer. So what if I just went, nope, and move that like this? I just put it down in the wrong order. Normally I have the assembler all the way on the end, but whatever. And we'll just go ahead here. Let's put these in here. And then I know that this is probably not kosher because we do need tungsten for other stuff, but I also don't want to care. So we'll keep exact 1. We'll only put 1 in there. That'll work. So we got some more tungsten steel. That's fine. And then do we have down here? This one's the one doing tungsten steel. And if I put you in there, got 2 hot tungsten ingots. Nice. 50 seconds. That'll work. I mean, we're not going to sit around for it, but you know, that's cool enough. And but that does mean that we want to. Let's go ahead. I mean, there's nothing to do with the tungsten steel. There later there is, but right now there's nothing to do with the tungsten steel other than what we're doing. So we'll go ahead and just put this down, and actually we don't even need to do that. We can just output straight down. Wait a second. Yeah, like that. That's what we want. Okay, cool. So tungsten steel is all automated. It is going to be eating our power though. Are we doing okay on power? This used to be at 3 million, so I'm kind of thinking it seems like it settles somewhere around here, but okay. We have. Let me put this down somewhere. Whatever. Compressor, you have a hat. Okay, so let's jump back over here. We need to make HSA at some point. This is no big deal. It's just Invar, vanadium, titanium, and molybdenum. We need to get molybdenum, though, which we get from ore processing of scheelite or molybdenite ore, and I think we've got some of both of those, but it's EV, and I don't want to run that until we get the EV. What's this? We do need to do neodymium, only because at some point I was thinking, oh, would it be cool to set up some create things and that way we don't even have to use our main power. Nope, don't get distracted. Anyways, that's that. Hot silicon is, we use it for, let's see, the plates, become the printed silicon for applied energistics, and we need to start that soon. And the alloy smelter is the only way to do that. There is no multi-block alloy smelter. Although I think the multi-smelter can. Yeah, the multi-smelter can. Oh, I have a multi-smelter now. Well, the rock. And again, I knew while I was doing it that it might be upsetting people that I was doing stuff off the front, but again, I like playing, and I don't always like talking, and sometimes I just want to play. I don't have tons of buildings that I need to build. So, this guy has now got stone, and it's 4 ticks, and we'll probably up it to higher, and then the other one was just basalt, and then I moved the marble down here for funsies. And what's funny is this is 16 ticks, this is 16 ticks, and this is 4 ticks, which, you know, makes a little bit of sense, but still funny to me. And I will make a few more red steel casings, because that's really all we need red steel for. I thought about automating red steel, but there's no real reason. I think we use red steel dust. I know I'm like yelling, used it. In a mixer. Well, maybe not. Once we make the red steel, yeah, we don't. Oh, maybe we use red steel gears. Yeah, it's for the red steel bus and blades. So we might. I don't know. But I'm probably making too much. I am probably making too much. We are completely out of copper, and we have been for a while. I don't have any bronze, and I've needed bronze for a bunch of stuff, and I had to actually go crush down some things to make that happen. Yeah, we're out of bronze. We're out of copper nickel. I mean, copper nickel, we have the ingots, but we don't have any of the dust. So that's a little bit disconcerting. I'll figure something out there. Oh, and I did want to go and grab steel. Anyhow, so I'm trying to figure out what we have to automate next for the blast furnace. And I'm probably going to continue manually making the nichrome coils, because I can't be bothered to do it another way until we get to the point where it matters. So we are not even close to built up on that yet. We get 2 out of this though, right? Yeah, good, 2. And I think if we come over here, blue steel, beryllium, duralumin. Where do you suppose we put all the tungsten steel? Huh. We really only make that many? Surely. Input bus. Oh yeah, look, it's still sitting there because we haven't made 64 since we started. So, no, this has got to have been going longer for that. I don't know. I need to make some more freezers. Either way, and I don't know how to automate it. I don't know how I want to automate it yet. I'm gonna move the processors over again, and we'll just make a bunch of small clean rooms in the area that I was at. Do all the processors once they're at the final form. I'm not gonna mess around with the non-final form. Okay, HSLA, neodymium, hot silicon, vanadium steel we needed for our buzzsaw blades, and maybe if that's the only reason, I might not, except for the fact that it's only an MV recipe, so it costs us almost nothing at this point to do. We need ultimate for something. What was that for? Ultimate gears. Yeah, for like, I guess these are just multiple blocks, but we'll want to have this going. Yeah, we need it for the buzzsaw, for the cutter at some point. So ultimate's on our list, and this is one that's on the list too, because then we can make the better tier storage drawers. And we've got manganese and we've got phosphorus, I think, automated now. The only problem is that it goes into the blast furnace and then we have to manually make them. But I think what we're going to really focus on here is this. And just to see the magnesium diboride, this is the MV superconductor in vanilla Gregtech, whereas Signalum is the MV superconductor in Star Technology Gregtech. So we can do one or the other. Either one will work. It's just that Oh, it's not. Oh, it is the MV superconductor. It's amperage is 4. Loss per meter is still 0. And there's no reason not to. This is much harder to make. But we need it for one of these. Yeah, we need it for the MV field generators. Everything else is easy. Eyes vendor we've got. MV circuits we've got by the pile. And diboride. So we use the MV field generators for super chests and super tanks. And that's apparently it. Huh. Anyways, that's what I'm looking at there. Chromium, we needed the rods for something. I think it's these HV emitters. So we actually don't have any more HV emitters than what we've already made. Because I'm not doing that. It's chromium screws, chromium rotor. We don't need it like that. But the chromium rotor, advanced power thruster for an advanced jetpack. Cool. Okay. Chromium ingots. Yeah, we said that. Polycaprolactone is a low priority, but we can macerate it. No. Something we do some. A wire mill. Wire mill gets a string. I think that's the only thing that we would do with it. But that means we've got automated string, which I don't know. Maybe it's not that super useful, but so it's lower. Mercury, barium, calcium cuprate is on here because I think it's the HV superconductor. Yeah, it's the HV superconductor, which means that the 2x ones, 4x ones. I mean, I got that right the first time. And this one's a little trickier. Stainless steel plates, no big deal. HV circuits, no big deal. Quantum Eye is Eyes of Ender and Radon. We actually need to make those anyways because we need an EV emitter soon and an EV sensor. The EV sensor is for... Oh, maybe we don't need the EV sensor. I don't think we need a... What does a scanner do? Data stick. Oh, I don't... Never mind. Maybe we do need the scanner. I thought it was the one that scanned for ores, but... If the scanner... Well, we don't need it till IV, apparently. Nope. There are some EV ones. So... I see. Think. I don't know. Something. Scanners. And then the nickel, zinc, ferrite ingots. We needed that for the rings. So again, it's not super high importance. But that is how we're making the SMD conductors. And I think... Well, I mean, once we start the advanced inductors, it won't matter. So maybe we don't even need to make that. What's an advanced inductor require? HSSE rings with fine palladium wire and liquid polybenzene minus gold. Okay, so that, and there's only one way to make this. What do we use it for? Quantum process. Okay, everything later. So that might go away, but this one is definitely necessary. So I was thinking I might set up another blast furnace, and let's go. I know that was a whole lot of talking, not a lot of doing. We did automate tungsten steel to a certain extent, and in fact, we have enough nichrome that maybe we swap off nichrome and here, let's say in fact put it up here and swap over to there we go. Swap over to tungsten steel. Oh, wait. Tungsten steel needs a HV cooler. Cool. That we have. And in fact, this iron here doesn't even need to be there. So let's go ahead and steal this. And choop. We have tons of iron going. Okay, you're running. 9 seconds, still faster than that 50 seconds over there. And then one more ender drawer. No! Want this in there. But we got the achievement, so I would have forgotten to do that anyways. Remember to lock it. And I think we're good. I think we're good. Nah, this stuff all needs to go upstairs. I'm down with keeping that because we'll need to make a bunch of the multi-block machines at some point. This is my supposed to just be. Yeah, I don't need that in there. It's supposed to just be the multi-block machine casing metals, but I should really set those to go through another machine. We'll see. It will get there. It'll be okay. I actually want to make, well, I want to make a machine that we can just put the metals in one end, and because they're all the same recipe, it just comes out the other end as the right thing, and that will actually work for the casings, so I don't have to do quite so manual stuff. All right, I think the first thing we want to do with this tungsten steel is whatever the thing is that makes gravel, right? Because we've got this, so the large sieve controller. It needs it needs IV stuff. And IV is tungsten steel. Okay, cool. So that's where the tungsten steel came in. I thought it would, oh, that's ew. We've got IV circuits. What is that? Crystal processor. There's 4 IV circuits. I thought there were 4 of some of the tiers, but whatever. This is crazy. All right. Incidentally, this is also where we get to sci-fi. Like this one, we could kind of say that like an exabyte data center is there, but okay. So Merging Steel 300 plate comes from Merging Steel, which is a vacuum freezer at MV. No, yeah, MV. Cool. And you get made in a. Okay, see, this is where I get confused. There's no recipe for it. So does that mean we have to make it this way? Oh, now. Okay, so maybe we need to make an alloy blast smelter. But we need RTM alloy. Okay. So let's go with okay, to get this, we use the large civic works. Oh, I already have this recorded. Okay, that makes sense. And so we want the alloy blast smelter. And to make the alloy blast smelter, we need tantalum carbide, an advanced alloy smelter 3, which we can make. We have all of that stuff. EV circuits, yeah, all of this stuff is doable. So I guess we're going to go check about making this guy. This guy! The vacuum freezer. Please have a recipe? Mixer. Okay. Tantalum and carb. Oh my goodness. Is that it? It does need an EV mixer. But EV mixers are easy. I can't make... I would actually just dump it into one of the ones downstairs, but I can't make the EV energy hatch. How am I already 43 minutes in? Sorry, we haven't gotten any of the things that I want to do yet. We have MPIC, aluminum cables, EV machine hulls, and extreme voltage cables. This just magnetic. Oh, that's why I needed the neodymium. Right, and the fine platinum mire. That's easy. Easy enough. The MPIC chip requires a clean room and an EV cutter. That's going to take a minute because the EV cutter requires the ultimate saw blade. But other than that, we have some of the rest of this. No big deal. But getting the power into the clean room means we need an EV diode or an EV power acceptor. Oh, we have one. An EV power acceptor. We could do that. We could make at least a couple EV energy hatches. Huh. Okay, well, I'm going to toss that on there, too. Okay, but for now, let's go ahead and make this guy, because that looks cool. Oh, wait, no. We can't make that. Oh, so many layers deep. I'm betting that if we looked at the recipe, because as we looked at how to make something, now I don't even remember what it was. Oh, it was the large sieve cobbleworks. Right, it was this guy. How to make the double marriaging steel. We have to do the liquid. which means that in order to make that, we need to cool down this. This is a 900-second recipe at EV and at RTM. So this is, oh, but it makes, what is that? 18, 22, 24 ingots. Yeah, about 24 ingots at a shot. So that's no big deal. Okay. But we need RTM alloy. Okay, cool. RTM. I actually did not click this because I didn't think this was really what we wanted to do next, but it looks like it is. So RTM alloy, no big deal. We need molybdenum, tungsten, and ruthenium. We have tungsten. We're smelting it all up right now. So we'll have to stop that, but we can do this. It's another EV mixer. That's cool. We can do that. We'll stop with the tungsten steel at some point. No, neither of those. Is it an ore processing? No, large chemical reactor. Ruthenium dust from carbon and ruthenium texture oxide. We can make a chemical plant soon. Oh, platinum sludge group with aqua regia. Gets us ruthenium. Does that mean that we're doing that? Oh, that would be so cool if we are. Oh, wait. No. We can't be. Because that was the chemical plant. We don't have the chemical plant. The chemical plant, in turn, requires tungsten frames. Extreme engine intake, PTFE pipe casing, heat vents, and molybdenum disilicide coil blocks. Ooh, that's making me... We're obviously not going to want to make too many of these. And I'm assuming that we can put more than one... I don't know how that works. Maybe we just have to manually do it, or maybe we're supposed to be auto switching it with AE2. Either way, that means that ruthenium in a chemical reactor with ruthenium tetraoxide. That gives us carbon dioxide as the output. I don't care about carbon dioxide. That goes in a chemical reactor with inert metal mixture and sulfuric acid. Gives us ruthenium with rhodium. So, oh! Was rhodium the other one we needed? No, molybdenum. Okay, that's fine. So we need a large chemical reactor to mix these guys together. Okay, inert metal mixture. Let's go see if we've got inert metal mixture, because I would even be willing to just do this manually a little bit. In fact, do I have... I do. Cool. Cool. Where do we get inert metal mixture? Platinum sludge group. This is probably what we have. Yeah, okay. And we probably have a ton of it. I just got to figure out where we put the platinum sludge group. It's not that. That's rare earth. Might be this. Platinum sludge residue. Please don't be this. Oh, good. Raw platinum powder. Inert metal mixture. Okay. How do we get it out? We are going to hate ourselves. But I totally thought someone turned the light on me. It changed everything in the room. Okay. We're going to put that there. And then I guess we will robot arm it. Right here. And do that. That'll work. And I'm trying to remember what this is. Aqua Regia with platinum group sludge. So I see. So if we use the chemical plant, then it's this recipe, but instead of a centrifuge, it goes in the platinum in the chemical plant, and then it just dumps right out. And the chemical plant we can make, it's just gonna take a minute. Yeah, it's not a priority, but if this is a thing we need, then it might become a priority. And then it's gonna go into the big giant multi-block room where it belongs. Okay, so we have the inert metal mixture, and we need to put it in with some sulfuric acid. That is easy enough. Over here. See, where did that guy come from? He might have come in through there. I am having a hard time with them coming up the water stream. All right, we're going to go ahead and just manually do it for a little bit and see what we get. Put bus. You are lava. Is there anything in here? No. Okay, you can do that then. And this one here, and it should be a 1-to-1, right? Oh, it's 6 to 5. That's good enough. How many did I grab? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll grab 9. Oop. There we go. Because they're all MV input buses. I don't have. Yeah, so we should get 7.5 out. And sulfuric acid. What is the code for sulfuric acid? 141. Easy. That one's easy. All right, we're gonna do that. And oh. Excuse me, sir. Did you just let one out the wrong end? 141. So for the palindromes like that, the input is the number, and then the output is just the inverse. So 414 would be the output. Okay, so 141. Awesome. Okay, so you're making rhodium sulfate and hydrogen gas. Now, what does the rhodium sulfate do for us? I don't think it does anything. We'll stockpile it. Sulfur trioxide, rhodium dust, and oxygen. Obviously, we want this. This is just sulfur and oxygen, so we don't care. It's in an electrolyzer, so that's cool enough. And we need it for rhodium-plated palladium dust and uranium-rhodium dinaquatide dust. Dinaquatide. Okay. Is there anything actually useful? We can make hot rhodium ingots. It always sounds like, well, it doesn't sound pleasant. So maybe nothing else. Regardless, we want the ruthenium tetroxide. What are you? Really? Can I don't. Here, let's do this. We'll do. Don't need that much hydrogen. And I do have a bunch of tanks, so until I know I don't need the rhodium, I guess we want. Look, buddy. I guess we want to. Well, that worked out well enough. Do you want to turn it down? Yeah. Okay, and you can be locked. Locked and waiting. Because again, if we get to 8 million buckets of rhodium sulfate, we don't need rhodium sulfate. Right, so you're going... You know what? Let's just go ahead and set it to automate. Well, hold on. Inert metal mixture. Inert metal. Is there anything else we do with it? We throw it in the chemical reactor. The large chemical reactor. Okay, so chemical reactor, rhodium sulfate. Oh, that's where the hydrogen was coming from. Okay, never mind. I was being silly. I'll put another one down. Yeah, so this is the only thing we do with it. So we will need a custom large chemical reactor at some point. And because it produces an item output, we can't even automate it very well. But, you know, we'll do our best. Super tank. Like so. Come on. Okay, your hydrogen and you were locked. Oh, and you know what? I guess that means that we should... This is a thing that I keep forgetting to do. It's not a long recipe, is it? 23 seconds, so I guess a little long. Just set it to hydrogen. And what is this? Rhodium sulfate. Oh, sorry. Rhodium sulfate. Maybe we use liquid rhodium for something. Who knows? Okay. that, please. Thank you. And then I guess we can hit this like so. Hit this like so. And I never bothered to do that one. Okay. So we'll set that up to be automatic. I might do that off camera because we've seen setting up a chemical reactor before. And then the ruthenium tetroxide. This one goes into... No. Another chemical reactor? Oh, with carbon dust. Okay. That makes sense. And there's no 24 here. This is just... It's a two-step process, it looks like. Oh, until we get the large chemical plant. That's why I wasn't going to automate this. Because once we do that, we'll do the platinum sludge group into the chemical plant. So the platinum sludge group is already an intermediary step. Okay, so I need to do another large chemical reactor. Although, what I could do instead is... This is where the cleverness comes in, I think. No? No, that won't work because it'll try to feed it into itself. Okay, so I'm going to do that off camera, though. I've already run this episode long enough. That'll be what we need to get ruthenium, and molybdenum, I think, is just ore processing molybdenite. So we've seen that one before as well. I'll set up a automated whatever that machine is that turns the autoclave. I'll set up the autoclave to turn the molybdenum into the I don't have one there. Yeah. We have it growing over here, right? That's oil stuff. And that's all stopped, which is not ideal. Oh, you know what? That would be a good use for the tungsten steel and stuff. Renew our oil supply. If you can see, basically what happens is I'm right here underneath the oil supply. And we can either go north and get oil, or we can go any of these directions to get heavy oil. And since we're already set up to do heavy oil, we'll do that. And we can get light oil, or heavy oil. Huh. Oh, I see. No, those are just what are on the screen right now. I will probably do heavy oil, like right here. So, where am I? Just a little bit south. Oh, you know what? We can even maybe do it on the same platform. We'll just do it like right over here. Yeah. No, we're not. We have to go a little bit further. So maybe we do it up there. Anyhow, the thing is, though, if we look at drilling rigs, the key here is the depletion rate. So this one started dropping down to, it's only got 30, which means it produces 30 millibuckets per operation. Whereas this guy here, we can put 2 HV things on there and it'll drop the, time down to a half a second, but it also means the depletion rate is down 50%. So it won't deplete any faster, but we'll get twice as much out of it, which would be cool. Well, actually, production multiplier 1 and 1.5, and this one's 16 and 24. So maybe we get better than that. I don't. And there's also a bedrock ore miner, and I don't know that these work because I think drills ores from veins under bedrock, and I think I would see it if we had. I think we would see it if there were oils, but guess I don't know. Oh, available modes. Oh, there are no ores under the bedrock, so I don't even need to worry about that. But this is not expensive. Well, oh, it's only titanium. What's this one then? Oh, not ore miner. Drilling rig. Fluid drill rig. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, what does this guy require? Osmiridium, LUV. Okay, so that's LUV. And yes. But that drops down to 12.5 with the 64x overclock production multiplier. I don't know what any of that has to do with anything. But what I do know is this requires tungsten carbide, EVA pump, no big deal. Motor, no big deal. Titanium frame, EV machine hull, no big deal. And this is all titanium. Oh, we could have been doing this for a long time ago. So that's what maybe our next thing is going to be. Next episode, unless we finish up RTM. Titanium drilling rig. Done. I won't be up here to remember to look at that, but it's fine. Anyways, that was not what I was going to look at, was it? We were going to look at the next one over, which is this guy. And this is all the molten ore, and one of them is molybdenite, and that's how we get the molybdenite. I think that's metal mixture dust, which we use to get more molten ore. And bastnasite would be another good way for us to get something. What is this supposed to be? Molten tungstate, and that's why it's done, because we're empty there. And then sheldonite we're supposed to be doing something with. Let's see how that goes. And I don't understand. I think that must be a mistake somewhere here. There's supposed to be an update coming out. I kind of expected it to be out already, but I'm not pushing anybody to do anything. So, yeah. So we'll do... In fact, I'll just do it off camera because we've seen that before. And I'll show you that I've done it. And then I'll finish up the Ruthenium. And then when we come back, we can maybe see about setting up an automated set of mixers and stuff. Because that will require a new area, I think. Well, at least a new line in one area. Anyhow, I appreciate you for hanging out, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flippity flop.